usually I flirt with people that are safe to flirt with. I don't just like go in a bar and go up to a stranger and flirt with them. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I don't go out of my way to flirt. But if I've got like a friend or something, I think I get touchier and flirtier then. But it's always like still within the realms of what's allowed, like innocent flirting. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't just go around like groping all my friends. But I do get extra like touchy. Like I'll touch people's hair more or their arm more or hug them more. Make a lot of rude jokes. Rude jokes are my usual go-to. I think a lot of people flirt. If they say they don't, I think they do. Every husband or every wife who goes to work or whatever, like 90% of them are flirting with the person they work with. Like, it doesn't mean they're going to bang the person they're working with. It doesn't mean they're going to have some sordid affair. But they come home and they tell their husband and wife, no, of course, like if they say, do you flirt with her? No, of course I don't. Of course I don't. And they'll tell you that they don't. But like I said, 90% of people will flirt with somebody if that person would also flirt with them. Like, it's actually human nature because we're designed to appreciate attention and attraction and blah, blah, blah. And so we just will. There is no way Boyer would not flirt with somebody at work if he liked the person, obviously, not like just some random because they flirted. Obviously, he has to like their personality as a friend and like good company to talk to. But you know for a fact that if she was a bit like, oh boy, and touched his arm, there's no way that he wouldn't kind of return like a flirty attitude back if he likes the girl kind of thing. And there's nothing weird about that. It'd be more weird to be like, oh, don't touch me. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's just weird. Like, then you know that the husband or wife is being whipped at home or something crazy. Like, I just don't see, I think the word flirting has got such a negative, like, connotation to it now. We assume flirting means you're hitting on somebody, which means that, So we think flirting means hitting on somebody. Hitting on somebody means you're going to cheat. Cheat means affair and betrayal and blah, 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 blah. Whereas I think we should need to take a good, long, hard look at what flirt actually means, because I can guarantee that most people flirt. Like, I guarantee they do. Whatever scale, some people flirt more, some people flirt more, like, more subtly, like, but we all do. Like, we all just, like, most people do anyway. That's why I flirt back. Flirting is fun, yeah, see? But in the right way. Whatever is in the mind is a different story. I mean, I don't even see, so this is quite extreme. Okay, you ready for this? I don't even really see I don't see the problem with having crushes on other people either. Like, I think it's natural to have a crush on somebody. Just because you're in a relationship doesn't stop you noticing other people, like, ever. Like, it doesn't, like, switch off that part of your brain. Like, that part of your brain exists in the first place, which is why for example, Boyd had, like, obviously he had a crush on me, I had a crush on him, therefore that part of our brain exists. Just because we get together, fall in love, and are crazy about each other, that doesn't turn off that part of your brain that creates the crushes in the first place. The only thing is, do you act on the crush? Obviously, if you have a crush and you go touchy, naughty, then obviously you're a butt munch. And it's like, but you can still have crushes. Like, we will happily, like, check people out together and, like, be all, like, silly about it. And, like, if there's somebody who would, like, oh, yeah, I would too. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think it's natural. Like I said, people get so, like, possessive of emotions. It's whether you act on it, it's a real issue. If you don't, there's no issue. Say so. Exactly. Obviously, if you, like, for example, I don't go for looks, like, ever. I mean, you can look at someone and admire their physique, but that's got nothing to do with whether I have a crush on a person completely. For me, it's all about the personality, like, all of it. So if somebody's a nice, funny person, why would you not develop a crush on that person if that's what you go for? Like I said, that's what I was going to say. Like, people have such a possessive nature. It's kind of insane. It's almost like, well, I'm with you now. So, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not being up on my high horse. I've 100% had this mindset before. I like to think that I don't that much, like, really anymore. I like to think that I've, like, outgrown it. But, like, We have like a mindset of like, okay, so you're in a relationship with me, so therefore you're mine, so therefore your emotions belong to me. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's like, no, just because somebody loves a person doesn't mean they can't be in love with another person. Just because somebody loves a person doesn't mean they're not going to notice or be attracted to other people. Obviously, if they're like doing stuff that you haven't agreed within your relationship, like if Boyan didn't want me to flirt, he'd have to tell me, and then I'd probably be like, that's awkward because that's my personality, and then he'd have to choose to leave. If I didn't want him to flirt, same thing goes the other way around. But it's like, I just don't understand why when we get together in a relationship, we think that this other whole section of our brain turns off. And it's like, we can have more than one emotion. Like, we are the most emotionally complex creatures on the planet. So why on earth, when you get in a relationship, do you think that like narrows your emotional branch out? It just means that you control yourself in the respective category you are now in. Do you know what I mean? Human nature to think about reproduction doesn't mean you be jumping where you see. Exactly. But gonna flirt, so Finny, get ready. Hey, Bill! I'm more attracted to personality looks. 100% same here. Thank you, baby. Like, if you look at all my last, like, main relationships, even my, like, flings and stuff like that, like, none of them look like each other. None of them. But they all have one thing in common. They are all nice, funny people. As soon as I realise if they're not nice or, like, nice anymore, then I get rid of them. But they are all funny and nice. That is all I ever care about. But, yeah, like, I don't really see what the problem with flirting is. Obviously, there's, like, a certain limit of respect. Do you know what I mean? Like, don't go around, like, groping each other unless you're in that kind of relationship. But, like, obviously, like, there's a limit because otherwise you're disrespecting. And obviously, you never belittle your wife or your husband whilst doing it. Like, oh, I love your abs because they're so much nicer than my husband's is obviously no good. This is me feeling the abs, by the way. I just realised I don't have boobies. Hey, I like those boobs too. I was definitely feeling the abs. You know, I swear. Yeah, my ex ruined me by cheating. It messed me up hard. Yeah, exactly. It does. Obviously, it does. It, like, changes I think it changes every essence of your being. And it's like, no matter how much you try to, like, repair it afterwards, like, there is no real repair. I think you have the very, very few rare couples who can work through it. But I think that all the time, like, you're going to be kind of damaged after, aren't you? 50% of the time when it comes close, I get scared of taking the leap. Yeah, it sucks. Because the only way to kind of, like, not fix it because it doesn't really get fixed, but prove your worth again is to, like, obviously open up everything to everyone. So, for example, Boyan has an all-time pass to every password I have, everything on my phone, because why would I not? Because we live together. So it's like, but if you get in a new, which is fine, obviously I'm just like using him as an example, but it's like, if you get in a new relationship and you've been cheated on, how do you tell the new person you want access to all of their stuff because an ex-girlfriend or boyfriend cheated on you? Like, no new person is going to want to just be like, here's everything. Do you know what I mean? It's a really, really, really tough one. Especially the worst one for me is the serial cheaters. Like, the ones who, like, hit on every single person. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know the lads or the tarty girls. Obviously, if I'm always talking about from my perspective, it being the guys. But, like, obviously there's the girl version too. But, like, you know, when they just cannot help themselves. And it's like, no matter how much they say sorry and how much they try to take it back, it's like they will just do it again because that's just what they do. Like, those are the ones that need to be dealt with, shall we say, in a not so pleasant manner. And they are the ones that break us and stop everybody from being free, like we were saying to you all, being free to flirt and just be normal. Like, I think being flirty and friendly and close to people is really normal, like really, really normal. I think being paranoid and scared and, like, possessive and all that, I think that's really abnormal. I don't think we're not born that way. We're not, like, that's only ever happened because of patterns of behaviour that have taught us that. I don't think that's the natural way we're supposed to be. I want to watch if my girl will do. So what? You would let them go flirty, do whatever, blah, 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 to see if they cheat. But see, the only reason that you think like that is because your mindset has been tainted. It shouldn't even be in our minds that that's what people are going to be doing given the chance. Like, they are literally changing the mindsets of even people who've never been cheated on, because it's almost been assumed it's a standard that if you are given the chance, you will go cheat. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, how insane is that? There's always going to be fudge nuggets. I love you so much, Guy. It's all down to respect, trust, and boundaries. Absolutely, exactly. Like, obviously, I'm here flirting with you guys day in, day out. Give me a hand. Yeah. And I've still got... Yeah. I still got my Bobo here. And, like, he understands that every word I say to you guys is all said in love and jest. And, like, he throws flirty comments back at Moo when she does it to him. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, we literally... Like, obviously, you guys know that, lots of my close friends are dudes. I'm still best friends with my ex-husband. How many men are there out in the world that would be like, yeah, sure, be alone in the house with your ex-husband and cook him dinner. But, like, it's fine. Like, literally... all fine. And then I've got obviously like James and Lee, who I talk to like all the time. Sky is coming to visit. I've known Sky for like, I don't even know, like 18 years or something crazy. And he's coming to stay in my house for 6 days or something whilst Boyan's at work, the kids are at school, and there's complete 100% trust. No doubt whatsoever. Yeah, look at the kind of silly flirty stuff that Sky and I say to each other. Like, it's literally like... And again, like, it'd be the same the other way around. Like, I don't care when he says stuff to Moo. Like, I don't care. But, yeah, I wish that everyone could be like that. I think everyone would be a lot happier. Like, I'm, like, always so, like, chuffed with the fact that Boyan is, like, the way he is. And we can be, like, the way we are together. I think it's perfect. You sexy man. See, even the boys flirt. I've given up on getting a relationship, to be honest. Happy to be single, but won't say no to someone if things go... I think that's the best way to be fair, Kevin. Like, really, really, really. Like, if you go looking for something, you're going to wind up just accepting anything that comes your way. But if you just kind of don't worry about it, and if it happens, it happens, like, then that's, like, perfection, right? I don't overthink a lot, but, like, I'm fine with anything. But there's always in the back of my head is this doubt. But I think that's over several relationships. I've only ever had one. I thought we were on good terms. Wasn't until, like, yesterday I found out they had a few side people they were with. So, yeah. I think, right, do you want to know what my my general opinion is? So, obviously, take this all with a pinch of salt as much as you want to and all that, right? I think... Okay, I love you all. I think people get too hung up on what someone has done before. Like, and I mean that with compassion, not as an insult. Like, I think, for example, let's take Sean and I, because I know he doesn't mind me mentioning stuff. Obviously, I don't talk about private stuff, but stuff. Obviously, towards the end of the relationship, Sean and I weren't very pleasant to each other. That's why we separated. Obviously, when relationships go downhill, the cause of separation, obviously, they're not very pleasant to each other. So we were a bit of a pain in the arse to one another. But the minute we separated, it became irrelevant. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's it. It's like, it's done. So if he shouted at me, or I shouted at him, or he called me this, or I called him that, or whatever, the minute we weren't together anymore, it became irrelevant. Like, I think people allow other people to have such control over them and over how they think forever. Like, I've had some not so nice exes. I've had a couple that have kind of broken my spirit and stuff like that. But then the minute I break up with them, I'm like, what you did is irrelevant. You are irrelevant. Like, it doesn't matter. It only matters while you're together. So if you had an ex-boyfriend or ex-girlfriend that like cheated on you, if your ex-boyfriend or ex-girlfriend cheated on you, you dump their ass, right? And I'm not saying that's easy. Like, it's easy to be a fool and think you could change them, think they love you enough to stay, and they want to stop doing it, and they won't, right? Like, so you dump their ass, and now you're not with them anymore. So what they did to you and how they behaved is no reflection on you. You showed good strength of character by saying, get out of my life. You don't deserve to be on my arm. And then that's it. You move on. I think, like, I wish people would let go of what happened in previous relationships. You ate a bad Chinese once and you got food poisoning from it, so you don't order that Chinese anymore. You're not traumatized from a Chinese. You had a bad person who was in your life, they did something bad to you, so you get rid of them. Don't let them traumatize you into having a good future and trusting somebody else if the next person does it. You met another bad person. Do you know how many bad people there are on whichever scale you have? Whether it's cheating, whether it's just being rude, whether it's being lazy, not getting a job. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, there, so many people have bad qualities that make them not good partners. But why should you let those bad people that you've accidentally bumped into in your life, because it's got nothing to do with you, if they mistreat you, that's on them. And it just means that, unfortunately, you are unlucky enough that you ran into a few bad people in a row. Do you know what I mean? Like, so I just wish people would take it as experience. Like, each time I've gone into a new relationship, obviously I was with my first boyfriend for 1.5 years. I was with Tia's dad for like 8 years. I was with Sean for 7 years. I've been with Boyan for like 4 or 5. I'm not sure where the crossover is. I don't really count that much anymore. And each time I move from relationship to relationship to relationship, obviously there's loads of flings in between, obviously stuff like that. I'm talking about actual relationships. But each time I move from long-term relationship to each one, I get better at it the next time, because whatever I did wrong or they did wrong in the relationship, I channel into the next one. And I like to think that I'm the best partner I've been so far, whilst like with who I am now. And I just wouldn't let, the minute I break up with somebody, I wouldn't let what they did to me define if I'm going to be happy with somebody else again. Like, the minute I dump, it sounds like such a horrible word, isn't it? Because if you're in a relationship, it deserves more, like, respect than that, whether it was good or bad. The minute I end things with somebody or I leave them, kind of, they become different people. That, like, the way a person behaves in a relationship to the way a person behaves with a friend is a completely different person. If you don't want to be friends with them, that's cool. And then you just leave them and then that's it. Or you could stay friends with, like Sean and I did. But it's like, anything that happened in our relationship, we never, ever bring it up, because we love each other now, like this. And it's a different level of love, but we also respect each other. And it's like, if you can't get on board with each other, then just don't be with them. But I feel so sorry for people. Again, this is with compassion and love, not like, oh my God, guys, with compassion and love. But I feel so sorry for people who get so trapped in a mindset or a persona or whatever, like, from something that their ex did to them. Like, you deserve so much better than that. They don't deserve to have control over you because they mistreated you, because then they win. It's easier said than done. I had 3 girlfriends, 1 was serious. All my life I got told I'm nice but not boyfriend material. That's not true. That is 100% not true. Okay, so you just had bitches who have said that to you. Because I can tell you right now, nice is boyfriend material, because that's what I go for. Like, as soon as someone's not nice, they're not interesting. Anyway, that's how it stays with you. I've always been the person girls go to talk to if they need to. They say in girls will be lucky to have me, but it's not for her. At the end of the line, you just stop believing them. The thing is, you think it's a numbers game. You think how many people you meet every single day, whether it's crossing their paths in Tesco's, a supermarket, whether it's crossing their paths walking down the street, when you're in a shop, when you're in a pub, when you're at work, how many people you meet. You are probably only compatible with 1% of all the people you will cross paths with in your life. So whilst you may meet 50 people who say you're not for me, that just means you haven't met your 1% yet. Wait till you meet 100 people and hit on them, And I can guarantee you one of those 100 people would be a nice person who would see you as a nice person. Like, it's literally just a numbers game. The old friend zone method. This is the word though today. They want someone ruthless. See, I don't agree. I mean, some girls do, obviously. See, this whole ruthless bad thing, like, I don't get that at all. I don't get that at all. I do not want somebody who is mean or rude or naughty or controlling or a bad boy or anything like that. Like, the nicer the person is, like, I could tell you right now, Boyan is the nicest person on this planet. Like, literally, if you were to draw a picture to show a depiction of what a nice guy looks like, Boyan's face would be the one that you would draw. Like, literally, I just don't understand it. Like, I know some girls do. I know some girls who like the rough type of the bad boy and all that. Me, no. As soon as I see that side, I actually recoil a bit. Like, I want my guys to be nice and sweet and hug me and tell me that my feet don't stink even though they stink. They don't stink. But, like, who like want to stroke my back as I'm falling asleep, or bring me a cup of coffee when he's been working all day, came in, cooked dinner for the kids, cooked dinner for me, did a bit of dishes, and he still makes me a cup of coffee. Like, how could you not want a nice guy? Somebody who will sit there and listen to me blather on for God knows how long about the fact that my hair is not the right length. Like, and like, they literally couldn't care less, but they'll sit there and humour me anyway. Like, why would anybody not want a nice guy? And then if he's nice to me, I'm nice to him. Like, who doesn't want a circle of niceness? Do you know what I mean? I never understand. Like, would you guys want a bad girl? Like, would you guys want to have someone who was a bit, like, rude and mean and belittled you and put you down? Is that what you want? Like, no. And if you are, you probably have issues. I'm thinking mummy or daddy issues if that's the kind of person you're after. I want a bad dirty girl. You can be a bad dirty girl in the bedroom. As soon as that bedroom door's shut, you know, gloves and everything comes off. I'm all on board with that. But, like, in personality, I've never understood the bad boy or bad girl thing. Like, obviously, I like girls too, so I could go after a girl. When I imagine what a girlfriend would be like with me, again, it's got nothing to do with looks at all. It's all to do with whether they're nice to me. Like, I'm not going to want to sit there with some bitch who's being rude to me all the time, like, or undermining me. I want to sit there and like stroke her hair and have her stroke my hair and watch cozy movies. So why would you not want a nice person? Like, yeah. Okay, thumbs up. Seven, humours the crap out of me. He doesn't care. Probably only heard like every 5 words. There's 8 billion people on this planet, so that makes at least 80 million people on this planet compatible with you. There you go. Exactly. And I don't believe there being the one either. I think the one doesn't exist. I think you could be compatible with loads of different people, loads of different types. You look at Boyan and Sean, I'm compatible. I was compatible with both of them. And thank you for that follow, by the way. I don't even know if I acknowledged that. How rude. But yeah, like, I'm like compatible with loads of different people. Just depends on how well you work. And obviously, sometimes you accidentally ruin the relationship by letting things slide. Like, if you guys saw me and Sean together, you would wonder why we weren't still together. Yeah, I don't believe that there's the one. I believe you can have many ones. There's some that are more the one. Like, Boyan's probably the closest to perfect for me, I think, than anyone else. Like, I trust the man with my life and everything. Like, but that doesn't mean that if he left me that I wouldn't find somebody else I was completely compatible with. He ain't leaving me. I would chain him down. But you know what I mean. Don't you guys agree? Like, I'm sorry. I need to hone in on this bad boy, bad girl thing. Well, on a date, would you prefer that I am the nice girl, or would you prefer that I'm a bad girl, so therefore is wild, or do you prefer me being a nice girl? This doesn't count for anything in the bedroom, by the way, because obviously, you know, nice girls are probably the kinkiest of them all. But yeah, like, I just don't understand it. I would love, if anybody knows the psychology behind it, you know me, forever learning, if anyone does know the psychology behind it, other than simply just mummy or daddy issues, why would anybody go for a bad boy or bad girl? Like, what is the mentality behind it? I don't want to hear mummy or daddy issues. So other than mummy and daddy issues, Why on earth does anyone know what the psychology is to why you would choose a bad boy or bad girl?